We're about 2 weeks out from my surgery. I'm currently in the middle of exercising, and it reminded me how I'm not supposed to do yoga or, according to my doctor, skydive. Apparently, like, the twisting and going upside down can, like, cause it to rupture or twist and cut off blood circulation to my ovary, which would be no bueno. So, however, I did realize that the day my first cyst ruptured, I was doing upside down handstand, like, push-ups, and that night is when my cyst ruptured. So I was like, that would have been good to know. I also didn't know I had cysts at the time too. So I mean, I knew I had them, but I didn't realize the severity of it. I have my surgery this week, making sure all my vitamins are in accordance to the surgery. Like, I can't do fish oil or ubiquinol, CoQ10, just because that can cause blood thinning. So if, for example, I were to hemorrhage, that can cause more issues during the surgery. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but it's always good to stop doing those vitamins 7 to 10 days before the surgery. We are on our way to the airport so we can go to Colorado for my surgery. I'm doing my surgery in Colorado just because I have relationships with the doctors there already. I trust them, and I can recover around family too, so that will be nice. Can't believe it's already happening. We are heading to my pre-op appointment right now. I have a lot of questions for the doctor just because I've found out some things about the procedure that I need to clarify. All pre-op approved. It's the night before my surgery. I have my pre-op today. I gotta talk to the doctor and ask a bunch of questions, such as, are they cauterizing, lasering, or, cutting it out? I was also asked how many of her patients were reoccurring patients for endometriosis. What's her plan if it's on any of my organs, and if it's severe, what are the plans there? Lots of important things I got addressed. I'm feeling pretty confident about it. I don't think it will be anything too invasive or crazy, but again, we won't be able to know that until the actual surgery. To wake up pretty early tomorrow. I've had to stop all eating and foods and vitamins. I can still drink water, but tomorrow, waking up around 4:45, I have to take a shower, and then we'll head to the hospital, and I have to be there by 5:30 a.m. So, good night! It's surgery day. It's 5 o'clock, so I have to leave in about 10 minutes. I have my cozy sweats on. They're red in case I bleed anywhere from my stitches or whatever. I'm getting more anxious and nervous now. I'm sure everything will go great. Putting good vibes out there. My surgery time is scheduled for 7:30, so it'll be about 2 hours. I have to leave in about 10 minutes. Oh, and I drew a very poorly infinity mark on my ring finger because I'm not allowed to wear jewelry, so I can't wear my wedding ring. So I drew an infinity mark. It'll probably fall off when I wash my hands, but whatever. Alright, I'm in the hospital right now. It's so early. How you doing? It's early. It's very early. All prepped and ready for delivery. Movement's starting to get a little bit easier. I think it's like day 5 after the surgery. What no one talks about is how painful it is to go to the bathroom. Oh, it's the worst. So make sure to have some sort of fiber, because brutal. When I got to the hospital, they checked us in and then escorted us back to my little pod. I was instructed to use the little wipes that they had to disinfect my body, even though I'd already showered. They gave me my grip socks, and then they gave me my IV in my hand, did all the basic routine and protocol procedures, gave me a little patch behind my ear for nausea from anesthesia that I was supposed to wear on my ear for 3 days after. If you are prone to nausea or motion sickness, like driving or whatever, I highly recommend asking for the patch for nausea. It really helps. I've never had a more amazing hospital team ever. I mean, I've had a few trips to the hospital, definitely, and they were all so nice, so amazing. I could not have had a better experience, I really don't think. Once it was time for the surgery, they wheeled me back to the room, and then they told me they put some oxygen on me, so they're going to put a tube down my throat, so that way I would have oxygen being supplied. And they said that would just take a couple deep breaths in, they're just going to give me some oxygen, and then it was peace out, Haley. And then from like that moment on, from the surgery all the way till about probably a little bit from the time I got home, was really, I have not much recollection of it. There are some pretty hilarious videos of it. We should get married first. That's a good idea.
You want to know something?
What?
We've been married a long time.
And I missed it. No.
Hey, you didn't. We got lots of pictures of it.
I got lots of pictures to show you. You were there.
You loved it.
You didn't miss it.
Oh, I promise. You did not miss our wedding. That would have been bad.
Okay. I'm going to take a nap.
Okay. We'll see you in a couple minutes.
Other than that, I don't remember much. From what I was told, it went really well. The surgery had extensive endometriosis. They got the cyst out. They gave me some fancy hospital underwear to wear, and then I used pads because there was some bleeding after the surgery, just because I had to move my uterus around a little bit. But they said that any type of bleeding that is heavy or equivalent to what you're like on your period, unless you're on your period, is not normal, and to contact the doctor. We asked for extra pads from the hospital, and then I got some as well. I highly recommend having a pillow with you for the car to protect you with the seatbelt. And then if you do get nauseous, having just a couple barf bags. Most hospitals supply them, so we grabbed some, and I didn't have any issues with that. Good to have on hand just in case. After the procedure though, they just made sure I was having some crackers and water, making sure I was keeping things down. Apparently I was obsessed with bendy straws.
Do you want to drink out of a bendy straw?
Oh, I love bendy straws. I ended up getting a whole bunch of them. Hey, I love bendy straws, so nothing wrong with that. Ask for Zofran. I would ask for Zofran. It's a great anti-nausea medication. You put it under your tongue, and then if you're feeling like super nauseous, it'll like take it away instantly. It's amazing. Highly recommend asking for Zofran. In regards to the incisions, they said I could shower after 24 hours, and then I could take the steri strips, the bandages off, and clean them. I can use vitamin oil. I'm using vitamin E oil for scarring. This, I'll probably add in some like helichrysum and lavender essential oils from doTERRA that I like to use. The incisions are about a centimeter large on each side of me, and then one in my belly button. And so, thank goodness they're little tiny ones. I recommend having some sort of laxative or stool softener to help with bowel movements, because sneezing, coughing, laughing, all pretty uncomfortable and painful. Drinks with erythritol in it. Use the Drinks Body Armor. I just drank like 3 of those, and that was good. Make sure you're wearing sweats, loose clothing, just because the procedure is right at your waistline, and so you don't want to be wearing tight clothing. I tried to wear some leggings a couple days ago. It was not very comfortable, so I went back to the sweats. I have some nice slouch socks. I can link everything that I used here. Also recommend bringing a scrunchie to the hospital. I also had some slippers that I had ready for when I got home, and a cozy blanket. And then this was huge. I never really heard much about this part after. So when you don't want to lay flat. At least I didn't want to lay flat because it put too much strain on my abdomen. And so I would put 2 stacks of pretty firm pillows underneath my knees when I would lay down. So that way it would release that pressure from the lower abdomen area. And that way I could just kind of go to sleep. Again, it's not the most comfortable, especially because I am a tummy and side sleeper. It's so sad that so many women deal with endometriosis and the cysts, and it's something that I remember when I was 15 years old, sitting in the back of my parents' car while they ran to a store, being like, holding myself in between the car seats, like I was in so much pain. And I just remember thinking, gosh, this sucks. Like, this is normal. This is my new normal. I thought that the pain, I mean, it's not normal to feel cramps in your bum. Like, if you feel cramps in your bum, that is not normal. It can be to certain extents, but like severe to the point where you feel like you're about to lose control of your entire body. That, you might want to get it checked out. And the first thing most doctors will end up prescribing is hormones, and they'll have you go on like birth control or a hormonal IUD to see if that helps kind of regulate your period and your pain. The only way to officially diagnose endometriosis is through a laparoscopic surgery. That's the only way. Even some ultrasounds can't see it. Now, with certain cysts, they do have more of a idea if it is endometriosis. Like, for example, I had a chocolate cyst, which is a cyst full of blood, and that is usually commonly associated with endometriosis. So they were already pretty confident I had it. We'll see how it goes these next few days, and then post-op, I'll update you along the process and how it's all going. It's pre-op time. I'm heading to my pre-op to discuss further treatment and how I want to maintain the endo from coming back. Check my incisions, see how they're healing. I think it should go pretty good, pretty basic. Definitely good to talk to the doctor about some courses or some routes we want to maybe consider taking. Apparently I'm a little nervous. My blood pressure is 121. I've never had it over 120 in my life. All good. She had to dig at my incision a little bit to get the stitch out. Ow. Glad I was asleep during surgery, but looking good. Alrighty, so I will begin some natural treatments for my hormones and see how it goes. We'll reevaluate in 6 to 12 months, but this is my life now. So I'll keep you updated. In the meantime, I'll catch you on the flip-flop.